Okay, so exponents quiz review. In this left-hand column, we've got the problem. Then it wants to know what operation we do, answer in exponential form, and then we want it in standard form. So if I'm looking at this one right here, now negative exponent means move to the denominator, or move. It doesn't necessarily move to the denominator, but this time it did. So that means I'm going to, sorry, it helps if I read what the directions want us to do. So it would have been -2 minus 4, which would get x to the -6. So that's 1 over x to the 6th. Okay. Now, most of you have not been able to do this, the shortcuts, so you would have got 1 over x squared times x to the 4th. So that would have gotten you 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 x to the 6th. And you can't do anything with that last column for this one. This one, we multiply exponents. So -2 times 1 would get us 4 to the -2, which would be 1 over 4 squared. Now, most of you have not been able to use the property, so that moves to the denominator. So I have 1 over 4 squared raised to the first power. So that's just 1 over 4 squared. And standard form, that would be 1 over 16. Then this one, this sign means multiplication. I don't know why it's an X, but I forgot to change it. So here I would write down the base, 9 plus -9, which would get to the 0 power. Or, I'm trying to do this, there we go. This part would go to the denominator, and I would have 15 to the 9th over 15 to the 9th. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And these cross out. All of these are 1s. So that comes out to 1. Standard form, 1. So here we go. 1, 2, 3 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would get me d to the 8th. Now, if you're using the property, I would take d and I would add my exponents, and I would get d to the 8th. Next one. This means move to the denominator. So I would have 3 to the 9th over 3 to the 4th, which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Over 1, 2, 3, 4. These cancel, and I would be left with 3 to the 5th. Or if you used -4 plus 9, the property, I would get 3 to the 5th. Now, in order to write this in standard form, I would take 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, and this would get me 243. Doesn't matter which one you use, they both get this answer. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cancel, 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 cancel. I would end up with 7 to the third power. Now, if you did it using the property, 8 minus 5 gets 7 to the third power. Now, again, 7 times 7 times 7 will get 343. Okay, so then it says simplify each expression. So here we go. I have 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a y. So I multiply the coefficients together and I get negative 14. How many x's? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Y's, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So y to the 6th. Now if I was to use my property for this, I would take 7 times negative 2. I would have x to the 4 plus 5, y to the 5 plus 1, because there's an invisible 1 there. So negative 14, x to the 9th, y to the 6th. Same answer. They're both exactly the same. Okay, let's come over here. So I look at my coefficients first. Look at these. Don't those simplify? Actually, I'll write this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is division. It tells you it's division by having that fraction bar. Negative 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have 1y. These two right here, this simplifies to 5. Cancel, 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 cancel. I'm left with 3 x's up top. Cancel that. I'm left with 4 y's. Now, if I was to do I would do x to the 7 minus 4. Remember, this has a 1 right here, to the 5 minus 1. If I did that, I would still get 5. X to the 3rd, y to the 4th. Okay, this one. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Okay, how many 8s are there? There are 3 8s. How many x's are there? There are 15. How many y's are there? There are 12. Now, does this say to write this? No. Now, you could write this as, let's see, 64 times 8 would get 512. Now, if I was to do it the property way, remember this has an exponent of 1, so 8 to the 1 times 3, x to the 5 times 3, y to the 4 times 3. And when I do that, I get 8 to the 3rd, x to the 15th, y to the 12th, which is the same thing as I got when I did expanded form. Okay. Over here, I have negative 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And negative 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Woo! Look at that. So I have negative 4, and I have 3 of those. I have negative 2, and I have 4 of those. Then X's 5, 10, 15. And then I had 15 there. I have 7, 14, 21, 28. So I'm going to add 28. That's going to get me 40. Is that 43? So I'm going to make it bigger again. So this is going to get me negative 64 times positive 16 x to the 43. I don't know this off the top of my head. Let's see. 64 times 16. Oops. 16. So negative 1024 x to the 43. Now, if I did it the property way, I would take negative 4, 1 times 3, x, 5 times 3, negative 2, 1 times 4, 7 times 4. That will get me negative 4 raised to the 3rd power, x to the 15th, times negative 2 to the 4th, and x to the 28th. So then that would get me negative 64 times 16, and then 15 plus 28. Hey, that's what I did right up there. So that would get me negative 1024 x to the 43rd. Okay. So, how many 7s are there? There are 2. I like alphabetical order, so there are 2 N's there, 1 in there, so I have 3 N's. P, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Evaluate. So this is negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. This will get me 9. This will get me 9. 9 times 9 is 81. Over here, 3 over 7, 3 over 7, 3 over 7. 3 times 3 times 3 will get me 27. 7 times 7 is 49. 49 times 7... 49 times 7. Yeah, that's what I thought it was, but I wasn't positive. Okay, so then this one, I'm going to actually multiply it. So I have 1 8. I have 1, 2, 3 8s. I have 2 more 8s. How many 8s do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 8 to the 6th power. So, let's see. This would get 64 times 64 times 64 would get 262,144. Okay, then this one. I have 5. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 times 3y times 5, 1, 2, 3. So 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 3 is 75. And how many y's do I have? I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I didn't do it on the last 2, but if I came over here, that has a 1 there. If I just did 1 plus 3 plus 2, that would give me 8 to the 6th power. This one, I have 5 times 3 times 5, and then remember that has that, so 4 plus 1 plus 3. So that would have gotten 75 y to the 8th power, whichever way you did it. This one, 24, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, all over 6x, 1, 2, 3, 4. Cancels here. These two right here change to a 4. Oopsie daisy. So 4x to the 6th y. Now, if I did it using the properties, I still have 24 over 6. That has a little 1 there, so x to the 7 minus 1, y to the 5 minus 4 still would come out to the exact same answer. This next one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 1. 1, 2, 3. Cancel, cancel, cancel. I have 4 squared. Cancel. I have 8. 1, 2, 3. I have 2 to the 3rd. That would get me 16 times 8 times 8. So 16 times 64. And I believe we just did that and it was 1024. Now, if you did the property, you have 4 to the 5 minus 3, 8 to the 2 minus 1, 2 to the 6 minus 3, 4 to the 2nd power, 8, and 2 to the 3rd, which is the same thing we just did right there. Okay, I believe, yep. Simplify. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I should have written, that's okay, I'm going to come down here. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is not division, boys and girls. All I've done is, oh, I don't want to do that. This is not division, okay? How many do I have? I have 21 of them. It is not division. If I do the property, I multiply the exponents and get x to the 21, or 21st. This right here, I have 1, 2, 3 of these, and I write that 2 times. And then this, I'm supposed to write 5 times. So, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So, how many 6s do I have? This is a 6 by 5, so that's going to be 30. Now, if I did it the property y, the way, I would take 3 times 2 times 5, which is 6 times 5, which is 30. Okay, next. This one. 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is again not division. 7 to the 2nd power, x to the 12th power, y to the 16th power. If I was to do it The property wise, remember it has a 1 there. 1 times 2, 6 times 2, 8 times 2. I would get 7 squared, x to the 12th, y to the 16th. Next, -2, 1 m, n, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. -2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. And one more. -2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. Okay. -2 times -2 times -2 gets -8. M, there are 9 of them. N, there are 27 of them. Or you do it the property way. You have -2 to the 1 times 3. You have m to the 3 times 3. N to the 9 times 3. That would get -8. M to the 9th. N to the 27th. Okay. Write an expression with positive exponent. Negative exponent means move me and make me positive. So it's going to be 1 over x to the 7th. Now write this using a negative. So if I move it upstairs, because I just moved it, it's going to become a negative exponent. Multiply or divide, write answers using only positive exponents. Do not evaluate. If you get an answer with a negative exponent, remember to turn it into a positive. So this means move me to the denominator. So I have 5 to the 4th on the bottom. Let me do this because I made it super long for some reason. So I have 5. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Cancels. 5 divided by 5 is 1, so I get an answer of 1 over 5 to the 3rd. Now, if you did it using our properties, you would add those. You would get 5 to the -3, and that becomes 1 over 5 to the 3rd. This one is 7 to the 9th over 7 squared. 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9 over 7 squared. So my answer is 7 to the 7th power. Now if you use the property, you would get 7 to the 9 minus 2, which is 7 to the 7th power. This one, move me to the denominator, move me to the denominator. So now I have 2 to the 4th and 2 to the 8th in the denominator. So that's 1 over 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Then I have 2 times 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that gets me 1 over 2 to the 12th. Or if you used the property, I would get 2 to the -12th, which would get me 1 over 2 to the 12th. Okay. This one, I have 8 to the 3rd over 8 to the 7th. Why do I know that? Because that's division. So I have 1, 2, 3. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cancel, cancel, cancel. Remember those all turn to 1s when you do that. So I have 1 over 8 to the 4th. Or if you showed it with the properties, it would be 3 minus 7, which is 8 to the -4. Negative exponent means please move me and make me positive. And either way, you get the same answer. Please move me. So I have 5 to the 6th over 5 to the 6th. Hopefully you know that comes out to 1. Because 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 over 5 times 5 times 5. 5 times 5 times 5. Cancel, 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 cancel. Did I do too many 5s? Those all turn into 1s. So my answer is 1. Now, if you did it using the property, it would be 6 plus negative 6, which is 5 to the 0 power, and anything to the 0 power except for 0 is 1. Right here, please move me to the numerator because I'm going to move because I'm a negative exponent. So I have 3 to the 3rd times 3 to the 5th. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 8 3s. If you showed it with the property, 3 minus a negative 5 turns to a plus sign, so 3 to the 8th power. Okay, number 26. Using negative exponent. So 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 over 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. 5 times 5 times 5. Cancel, 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 cancel. So I'm left with 1 over 5 to the 3rd. So if I had subtracted on this, I would have gotten 5 to the negative 3. And that is 1 over 5 to the 3rd. Then that's 1 over 125. This one. So I have 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6 squared, 4 to the 3rd. X's. I have 5, 10. And then I have 10 here. And then I have 6, 12, and 18. So that's 28 of those. So that'll get me 36 times 64, x to the 28th. So 36 times 64 will get me 2,304 x to the 28th. If I did it using my properties, I would have gotten 6 to the 1 times 2, x to the 5 times 2. Remember, these have exponents of 1, times 4 to the 1 times 3, x to the 6 times 3. 6 squared, x to the 10th, 4 to the 3rd, x to the 18th. So that would get me 36 times 64, x to the 10 plus 18, which will get me 2,304, x to the 28th. Okay, 28. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. How many Y's do I have? I have 21. Oh, goodness. Jeez Louise. 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have to write that 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I have to write that a second time? Sheesh. Goodness gracious. That's 7 to the 48th power, I believe. So then, to show the property, I would take this times this times this. That would get 7 to the 24 times 2, which is 7 to the 48th power. Now this one, I'm going to write above it. So 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Y times 12, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, Y. So I have 2 of those. I have 12 X's. I have 6 Y's, which is 144 X to the 12th, Y to the 6th. There's an invisible exponent of 1, so 1 times 2, 6 times 2, Y to the 3 times 2, which will get 12 squared, X to the 12th, Y to the 6th, which is 144, X to the 12th, Y to the 6th. Okay, so this one, -5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times -5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times -5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, how many -5s do I have? I have 3 of them. Sorry. I have 15 R's and I have 24 B's. So that would get me -125, R to the 15th, B to the 24th. If I was going to show my property, I would have done 1 times 3, 5 times 3, 8 times 3. So that would get me -5 to the 3rd power, R to the 15th, and B to the 24th. So -125, R to the 15th, B to the 24th. Sorry guys, my dogs go insane when my roommates, my next door neighbors show up. So this one, I have 35, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 over 7x 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cancels. This right here turns to a 5. Cancel, 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 cancel. So I'm left with x to the 5th and y. Now, if I was to use the property, 35 over 7, x to the 6 minus 1, because remember there's an exponent of 1, 8 minus 7, I would get 5x to the 5th and y. This one, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did too many of them. There we go. And then 1, 2, 3 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. So cancel, 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 cancel. What am I left with? 4 to the 3rd, 6, and 8. So 64 times 48. And no, I don't know that off the top of my head, but I'm going to look it up. 64 times 48 get me 3,072. Oh, I didn't do it the other way. So 4 to the 7 minus 4, 6 to the 5 minus 4, 8 to the 3 minus 2. That will get me 4 to the third times 6 times 8. And then that's my answer. Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and one more. When I do this problem, I will get 9 to the 14th. If you were to do it showing the property, 3 plus 10 plus 1, because remember there's an exponent of 1, so 9 to the 14th power. This one, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 4 times 5 times 8. I have x to the 12th, so that's going to get me 2160, x to the 12th. If I did it the other way, I would have 4 times 5 times 8. Then I would, remember that has a 1, 6 plus 1 plus 5. So I still get 160, x to the 12th. Oops, come on. So that's it.